president of the American Chestnut Foundation's Virginia chapter, and we are today planting, well, we've already planted some, but we're starting a grove of the American chestnut that's been bred to be blight resistant. So it's part of the restoration of the tree to the eastern forest. And Robin's gonna say a few words welcoming us on behalf of Meadowlark Gardens, and then I'll say a few words to tell you a little bit about the chestnut story and why we're doing this.
Okay, so I'm Robin Firth. I'm one of the garden specialists for this trail that we're on, which is the Native Tree Trail. And for a long time, you know, we've had the Native Tree Trail, but if we tried to plant an American chestnut on it, they would die because they would eventually get chestnut blight. So we've got all sorts of native trees here, but for the first time, we're now going to have native American chestnuts. So I'm going to give a little backstory of the garden itself. But in 1980, Gardner Means, who is the namesake of Lake Gardner over there, and Carolyn Ware, who is the namesake of Lake Caroline over there, donated their beloved farm to the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority. And after several years of planting, landscaping, and natural resource planning, Meadowlark Gardens opened up in 1987. So today, Meadowlark is Northern Virginia's largest botanical garden, featuring an extensive collection of native plants and ornamental plants as well. The garden continues to expand each year with new collections and new plants and programs and special events like this one and the other ones that are going on today. And Meadowlark offers an enchanting open space only 5 miles west of Tyson's Park. So the entire property is managed to conserve and protect the Potomac Valley of native plants. Okay, so with so many of our gardens dedicated to conservation, we decided that it really makes sense to have one of the true native trees on our native tree trail. And thanks to our friends at the American Chestnut Foundation, that's now going to be possible. As you heard, the American chestnut was wiped out by the chestnut blight, and these restoration chestnuts, which are the first of their generation, will help restore the native tree to its natural habitat. So we're going to put this one in the ground,
and there it has its brothers and sisters planted around it.
Some others around.
Where the little flags are out there.
Where did these little ones come from? What do you call them? Saplings?
The American Chestnut Foundation has been breeding, hybridizing an American chestnut with the Chinese chestnut. The chestnut blight came to the New World on Chinese chestnuts. The Chinese chestnut is a short, squat tree, and so it's very easy to harvest. The American chestnut was an absolutely enormous. It was tall and it was big around, and so if you wanted to eat chestnuts, it wasn't an ideal tree for that. So the European settlers started importing Chinese chestnuts when they were having big plantations, and of course it was a really important foodstuff, and it still is in Europe and South America. The Americans have sort of lost their taste for it, but we're working on that. The chestnut blight, well, a little bit about the chestnut tree. It was really